is News 8 at 10.
Hi, everybody. We had a great day today. Look at these numbers. Temperature up there, 57, Hartford, Meriden, Chester, Windsor Locks. Wow, that was early November. Now, we're about to head for late December. So you got to head out the door tomorrow morning with a heavy jacket, sunglasses. Yeah, we're talking about numbers right now that are still up there in the 40s, so it still feels pretty good out there. We've got the cold front moving on in. There are some snow showers and flurries just up to our northwest. So as this is coming in, some of you, especially in the hills, and there might be even a sprinkle in some other spots right down through Hartford now. So nothing too significant, but the colder air infiltrating much of the nation now. Getting back to big-time wintertime weather without the storminess. So out the door in the upper 20s and low 30s tomorrow morning. Pretty good breeze out there for you tomorrow, but the sun is there. We're going to stay in the 30s all day long. Up near 40 perhaps at the coast, but inland low and mid 30s. Good looking day, but a brisk day. Even colder for midweek. It looks quiet through the end of the week, but we are watching a storm in the 8-day forecast coming up.
All right, Joe, thanks. This is a live look inside the U.S. Capitol tonight, where former President George Herbert Walker Bush is lying in state.
The president made his final trip to Washington today after passing away over the weekend. His body will lie in state until his funeral on Wednesday. A look back at his amazing life and close ties to our state.
My dad is just the kindest person. He's been an extraordinary role model.
Today, the nation stands with that family.
I think we'll remember him as the embodiment, the human embodiment of love.
Throughout his life of service, President Bush personified grace. God bless the 41st President of the United States.
The president's body was flown from Texas to the nation's capital ahead of his state funeral later this week.
Americans are getting their chance to pay their final respects to the 41st president who is lying in state at the U.S. Capitol. Here's ABC's Kenneth Moten.
Honoring former President George H.W. Bush, his flag-draped casket arriving at the Capitol. Bush's family, including son, former President George W. Bush, gathered as the military paid tribute to the former commander-in-chief. Inside, Vice President Pence, lawmakers and other dignitaries there to pay their respects.
And today, on behalf of the First Family and my family and the American people, we offer our deepest sympathies.
Hours later, President Trump arrived at the Capitol. Despite a long-running feud with the Bush family, the president has said he looks forward to taking part in the tributes this week. Special Air Mission 41, touchdown at Joint Base Andrews to a military salute. Earlier in Houston, the presidential plane commissioned during Bush 41's presidency and designated Air Force One when the sitting president is aboard, served as the backdrop of a solemn military honors ceremony. The former president will lie in state inside the Capitol Rotunda, giving Americans a chance to say goodbye as the nation remembers a life of service.
He taught me family always comes first, and you do what you can to help the world.
Bush 41's final words were to Bush 43, "I love you too." The Bush Foundation releasing excerpts from the president's diary, including messages to his family.
If you need me, I'm here. Devotedly, Dad.
Here in Washington, President Bush will lie in state until his funeral at the National Cathedral Wednesday morning. Congress has delayed votes and canceled sessions as the country pays tribute to the former president. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
The former president has a long legacy here in Connecticut. He was raised in Greenwich. After fighting in World War II, he enrolled at Yale and played baseball for the school there. He was captain, starting first baseman on the first two teams that played in the College World Series in 1947 and 48. News of his death spread quickly throughout the Yale community.
Moment of mourning for us, but just a great opportunity to reflect on his career, his legacy, and what he means to this program.
His wife Barbara was part of the support staff, not officially, but she was there doing scorekeeping, and she always talked about her love for Yale baseball.
Barbara and George lived in New Haven on Hillhouse Ave when they welcomed their first son, 43rd President George Walker Bush. In 1948, the family moved to Texas, where he started his political career.
Coming up at 10:30, it's not just the baseball team remembering the 41st president. George H.W. Bush was a major part of the university since he was a student. We're not only celebrating his extraordinary life, but his love story that spanned 73 years. These stories are coming up. You can also read on his legacy on our News 8 app.
New tonight, a Grinch in Old Saybrook already stealing part of Christmas from a local family. We'll show you the surveillance video that captures it all. That story coming up in just minutes.
A health scare on the campus of Central Connecticut State University.
One student sick with bacterial meningitis, a potentially deadly disease. News 8's Bob Wilson is live to explain what students need to know right now. Bob.
Yeah, you know, meningitis, you just hear that word and it strikes fear. It can be deadly in a matter of hours. It can escalate very quickly, especially when you're in tight quarters like students living in the dorms, eating in the cafeterias. There's a lot of fear out there right now.
It was kind of scary. It was scary. It's scary.
The health alert went out across the CCSU campus.
So this is one single case. It is not considered an outbreak.
As students read the medical alert, it didn't seem real. A classmate hospitalized with bacterial meningitis.
You know, at first I was like, oh, maybe, you know, it's something about the flu. And then all of a sudden I kept reading and it was meningitis.
So what is meningitis? How do you catch it? And is it treatable? Dr. Nicholas Bennett is with the infectious disease unit at Connecticut Children's Medical Center. He says you can get it from close contact, like kissing or sneezing. It is treatable, especially if you catch it early with antibiotics. And Dr. Bennett says it hits hard, it hits fast, and is very dangerous.
It can actually cause symptoms in the morning and you feel like you have the flu. You can be in the hospital and by the lunchtime you can be dead by dinner. It's very fast.
Do you know if you've been vaccinated?
I have not been vaccinated for it.
So make you a little nervous?
A little bit, yeah.
A lot of people that I've talked to don't know who the person is. I don't know who the person is.
So this is the buzz around campus, everybody talking about it, trying to find out more about meningitis, exactly what it is. And they want to know more. They want to know who it is, where on campus the person was, so they didn't get it. However, they can't because of law. They have to keep it all confidential. And students seem to understand this.
If that was me, I wouldn't want my name going out there. So I feel bad for that person because I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm sick. People are just, you know, I feel bad for that person.
CCSU says they are following the health department protocols. They have alerted students who have been in close contact with the patient. And this is the B strain of meningitis, very rare. And while the vaccine works, not everybody has it.
And the meningitis B vaccine is not yet required on the regular vaccine schedule because it's unusual.
So what do you do to protect yourself? Well, most important thing is kind of wash your hands, protect that hygiene, but also if you have those symptoms, they're like flu-like symptoms, get tested immediately. The sooner you catch this, the better. There are the vaccines out there. The vaccines work really well. That B strain works very, very well. Some people are hesitant to take it. I asked the doctor about that, and the doctor said, if you have somebody who needs to be vaccinated, go ahead and get it vaccinated. It's definitely worth it. I'm Bob Wilson reporting live in Hartford, News 8.
And new developments in the polio-like disease spreading across the U.S. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say it appears it has hit its peak. The CDC saying there have been 134 confirmed cases of AFM in 33 states this year. That's 18 more confirmed cases than reported last week. AFM stands for acute flaccid myelitis, which is found mainly in children and can lead to paralysis. There is no cure or vaccine for that disease.
We are hearing from the sisters of a woman killed by Tremaine Poole. He's the man who was on the run from New Haven police for months, but eventually was killed in a shootout in Virginia. The women are demanding police make more arrests in this case. News 8's Mario Boone has the exclusive interview.
Well, one thing came across in my exclusive interview. This is a family still very much in pain and in fear of their own safety. That's because accomplices who helped an accused killer stay on the run for months still walking the streets today. 6 months after 28-year-old Taequa Nesbitt was shot to death in front of her 2 children.
It's still miserable, still knowing that my sister's never coming back.
The victim's twin sister, Tashana Nesbitt, and older sister, Latoya Herbert, breaking their silence only to News 8, expressing frustration with New Haven police.
No arrests, no warrants, no arrests, nothing.
They're upset because accomplices they believe helped accused killer Tremaine Poole elude police for more than 60 days.
A lot of people were helping him financially, physically.
Still haven't been locked up despite promises to the contrary from detectives.
They're not investigating anything. It's like case closed. That's just how that seems to me, like case closed.
New Haven Police Chief Anthony Campbell wasn't available for an interview Monday, but he stressed the investigation remains very active. Campbell also cautioned many of the investigative details must remain secret to protect the case.
I think that they feel as though Tremaine is gone, my sister's dead, and we're going to be quiet.
The family received round-the-clock police protection, costing the city more than $170,000 until the fugitive killer was himself shot to death back in August by cops in Virginia.
Him being gone is not closure for me.
Again, we want to stress we checked with the police chief today, and Chief Campbell assures me this investigation remains open. Of course, anyone with information in this case is urged to contact New Haven Police. As for the victim's family, they have relocated and tell me they now avoid being out in public. Reporting from News 8 Control, I'm Mario Boone, News 8.
A Windsor Locks woman accused of killing her father says it was an accident and that she was just trying to defend herself. 24-year-old Jessica Keene is charged with murder in the death of 51-year-old Michael Keene. According to the arrest warrant affidavit, Keene told police that her father came at her before she stabbed him. She was arrested on Friday.
New tonight, Hamden police asking for your help to track down this man. They say he hit a 53-year-old pedestrian last Monday morning on Dixwell Ave. On Arch Street. Police say they were doing a welfare check when they saw him sleeping in a black Nissan Maxima. That's when he took off. The pedestrian is expected to be okay. If you have a tip, you're asked to call Hamden Police.
A family-owned business in Old Saybrook is pleading with the public to help catch a thief caught on their surveillance cameras stealing expensive wreaths and Christmas decorations. News 8's Amy Hudak shows us that video and who police are looking for.
The surveillance video here at the store showing that thief pulling up in a moped and over the course of several hours stealing hundreds of dollars worth of homemade wreaths and holiday decorations. It's quarter till midnight Friday when a moped pulls up in front of Scott's Farm Store. A masked man gets out and looks around.
We saw a man fully face covered going throughout the lot, moving wreaths and decorations.
An hour later, that same man returns, grabbing $1,000 worth of expensive handmade wreaths. He takes one after the next for over 2 hours. While that thief is hard at work, a cop even seen driving past the store. You then see a dark-colored sedan parked at a pizza shop next door, drive through the parking lot and out of the frame.
And that's where all the product was loaded into the vehicle at that time, and they took off through the parking lot.
Monica Carlson is a manager at the farm store. She didn't realize anything was wrong until she got into work the next day.
The corner post to the gate was knocked over, and that's when everyone was like, okay, something happened overnight.
The family-owned business devastated somebody would violate them and their livelihood. The holidays, undoubtedly their make-or-break season of the year.
They ruined a family's Christmas. You know, stealing from a small family business, a small community, that's a big hit for that family.
Police say they are still searching for this thief, but they believe he might be selling these holiday decorations and expensive wreaths somewhere else. They're asking for the public to keep a lookout for him. In Old Saybrook, Amy Hudak, News 8.
Metro North is banning all booze on the train for one day next weekend. New York's annual SantaCon is next weekend. Metro North putting a 24-hour alcohol ban on trains from noon Saturday through noon Sunday. SantaCon is a pub crawl with a lot of folks in Santa suits. Metro North has banned alcohol on SantaCon Day for the last 5 years. They say it is to maintain safe, orderly travel.
Tis the season for Christmas music. A group of artists, including Eric Clapton and Gwen Stefani, have new Christmas music out. News 8 anchor Scott McDonald gives us a listen in our Music Monday segment.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write.
Eric Clapton's 24th studio album is his first foray into festive music. Happy Xmas finds Slow Hand playing holiday hits, including White Christmas, with a claymation music video featuring a young Clapton writing to Santa. Gwen Stefani unwrapped her first holiday album, You Make It Feel Like Christmas, in 2017. This season, the singer has released a deluxe edition featuring 5 more songs. The album's title track showcases Stefani duetting with Blake Shelton. Boy singer Mike Love is a fixture on holiday hits playlists. Love has a new solo set of seasonal songs out now, including the new song, Finally It's Christmas, a duet co-composed with Hanson. David Archuleta's second Christmas album features the American Idol alum singing Christmas traditionals and his original song, Christmas Every Day. The Brian Setzer Orchestra celebrating its 15th annual Christmas Rocks Tour with a home video release. The concert film was recorded in Santa Barbara, California, and features Setzer's rocking renditions of Christmas classics. Rocking around the Christmas tree, I'm Scott McDonald.
All righty then.
Tell you what, I was out today. It did not feel like the holidays. I was at the beach today. It was beautiful.
Yeah, temperature's way up, flirting with 60 this afternoon. You know, 1 month ago, I mentioned that, you know, the computer models were talking about a kind of a crazy November, 6 to 9 inches of liquid that may come out of the month, and sure enough, it did. Now, same computer models want to say maybe an inch or two of liquid this month. So see how we're trying to even it out here. So so it's let's see if that's going to be the case or not. So it worked out for November. An inch or two, I'm talking about liquid equivalent coming out of the sky as we go through this month. So, you know, and that's the way things work. You know, you end up with a month that comes in for some towns, the wettest November in 113 years. And now all of a sudden December looks like it wants to try and be on the quieter side. It's a cold front coming in now, and, well, say goodbye to the numbers we had today, which were way up in the 50s. Winds switching around to northwest, and, well, there might even be a sprinkle or flurry out there. There's some action into the far northwest corner at the moment. A couple of sprinkles maybe coming down, one of those lake effect plumes in place. So a few sprinkles around Hartford. Look at the temperatures off to our west. It's 29 at Binghamton, New York right now, but still up at 48 at New Haven. So you'll notice a difference stepping out the door. Tomorrow morning, I found Norfolk at 35, now 47 at Bridgeport. It's 48 at New London, 47 at Hartford. So at the moment, it's pretty nice outside. We're going to look for numbers to, well, in combination with the wind, feel like it's down in the 20s when you move out tomorrow morning. So that wind actually picks up a little bit more tonight out of a more northwest direction as we go along. We'll start out in the 20s and 30s, upper 20s, low mid 30s, and then we don't go very far during the day tomorrow. And numbers like this tomorrow afternoon are pretty much where we're going to be for the rest of the week. So it's 30s for highs and back in the 20s during the evening, 30 at the coast, and then we'll start out in the teens and low and mid 20s going into Wednesday morning. Tomorrow's a breezy day. Wednesday's a lighter wind, but a little bit of a colder day. And then, well, maybe a few clouds will mix in as we go on into later Wednesday evening, but nothing, there's just nothing significant weather-wise as we go right through Friday and into Saturday as well. Out ahead of the next polar punch is going to be a southwest flow, so 35 to 40 on Thursday. Could be a snow shower or squall Thursday night, Friday morning as that influx of Arctic air comes in. And then all eyes are on the storm coming in to California now as it rides its way across the country. You're going to hear a lot about snow in parts of the Southland where they don't want it. This storm is going to come to the southeast coast. At the moment, it's looking like the I-81 corridor out of Virginia into North Carolina is under the gun for a heavy hit out of this into West Virginia, of course. And then big question is it going to ride out to sea and miss, or is it going to try and come up and get close to us? So at the moment, it looks like it wants to head on out. Across the nation tomorrow, not a whole lot going on other than the cooler air. That's the storm we're watching right there. It's tonight, partly cloudy, brisk. Temperatures down near 30 inland, 34 at the coast. Again, keep in mind the wind makes it feel colder. Mostly sunny, breezy, chilly tomorrow, mid-upper 30s. It's the 8-day forecast that keeps the 30s in place right on through into the weekend with overnight lows in the 20s at the shore. Again, there's not much going on. With inland, a lot of teens and daytime highs, low mid 30s. Notice how it gets colder going for late in the week into the weekend. Watching that storm to the south. If it misses, we're going easy right through the middle of next week, Darren.
All right, Joe, thanks. Could a new generation of cell phones that are coming be a health risk? Just ahead here tonight at 10. Questions about that new technology being installed now and what a Connecticut senator wants done about it.
Christmas came a little early today for some children in New Haven. We'll show you that.
Also, we'll show you how a girl from Sandy Hook is baking smiles for others.